So how you not get spotted by enemy when you are in a really bushy area?
The secret to not getting spotted, for one, if you're alone, stay quiet. If you're with teammates, hand signals, making little subtle noises, but don't be talking, yelling, screaming, unless it's a big firefight and it kicks off, then go loud. But most of the time when you're in the bush, the most valuable tool is actually not your weapon, it's your ears. You have to determine the sounds of birds in the trees, squirrels or rabbits or birds running around on the grass or on the leaves and grass, and the sound of somebody creeping up on you, or can you hear them 20 feet, 100 or 200 feet away. Now if the enemy players are loud, you can determine exactly how far they are because of all the noise they're making. So the easiest thing to work with when you're in the bush is take your time. You don't have to run, you don't have to scream, you don't have to break every tree out of your way, because again, by the time we figure you did that, you already made a trail for us to find you, and then you get shot. Then you wonder, how did I get shot? Because you made all the noise, you were yelling, you were stomping through the bush, you busted so many trees that we figured weren't broken earlier. So the most important thing is silence, is survival. And not just listening, but sitting there staring into the bush for 10 minutes, eventually a human target is gonna pop up and start looking around. And when that happens, depending how thick or easy it is to shoot through, you might have to wait 10 more minutes until they get close, or if you're trying to escape, until they walk away so you can escape. So that's one big secret, is staying silent, whether you're alone or with a team of guys. If you're all gonna be loud, yelling, talking, breaking everything, and then when the match is over, you're gonna wonder, how did we get killed or taken out so easily? It's because you made it that easy to be shot. And the guys who probably shot you didn't even make a sound until they fired on you. So when you're playing in the bush, always remember there are enemies everywhere, and in this case, there's two of them hiding behind that cover. And you may not notice them because even though they're wearing black and gray, they're at a certain distance, and if they don't move their heads, I would walk past them and I'd probably get shot by them. So sometimes camouflage helps, but if you're wearing the wrong camo for the wrong environment for the wrong time of year, you could easily be taken out. So if you're gonna wear ACU, the old Army combat uniform, that gray camo, it'll kind of work in this, but in the sunlight it turns almost like bright white. But if you're wearing, like I'm wearing Ranger green, tan, a black t-shirt, this, and an AOR2 hat, there's all these different weird combinations, and the gun is a single color. But if you find a good spot, even wearing mixed gear could be the ultimate camouflage. Because if I'm looking for guys wearing multicam tropic or even OD green, and if they're all fully decked out in it, eventually when they go into a clearing, they now silhouette themselves from concealment to visibility. And again, if you're doing it right when the sun is high, no clouds, your fancy camo gets nice and bright. And that's another reason to how you can get shot easily in the bush, is again, silence, patience. And when that one player or team goes into a slight opening, even if they're being quiet, once they hit the bright sunlight, AOR1 can be bright or it can be dark. Same with AOR02, Woodland, Ranger and OD, Even the Russian, a lot of the Russian camos, like again, when you get overexposed in bright sunlight in an open area, even with good camo, that camo could highlight you more than ever. And the worst thing you could probably wear is bright colors. Even a white t-shirt. Neon colors are pretty bad, because if you're gonna wear a neon hoodie, you're gonna be seen no matter what. So the best camouflage for me would be mixing up colors. And a lot of times I don't wear combat tops. I either wear a t-shirt or a hoodie. And the hoodies are either black, tannish brown, and kind of like an OD green. And today I'm just wearing Ranger green with a black tee and tan chest rig and a AOR1 hat. So at a certain distance, if you just, again, be patient, listen, and look, the enemy will lose sight of you. But at the same time, if they're wearing multicam black or a desert camo in the summer, then they're pretty much a walking target. But that's the biggest problem is a lot of the milsims I played at, you get a lot of the teams that have to wear like AOR1 or Marpat or even khaki, like full on everything matching. I mean, it looks good as a team, but when you're playing in an environment like a bush, sometimes those whole teams can be seen weaving around the bush because they wore the wrong camo at the wrong time of year. And so now that summer's approaching, last week a lot of this was still not as green. So within 7 days, a lot of this greened out. And the past 2 weeks, I went from wearing AOR1 and a brownish tan hoodie to now wearing Ranger green, a black tee, this, I always wear this, and a AOR an O2 hat. And then once summer really hits, then I'll start wearing AOR2 in this. And then one big secret that I see a lot, not just playing skirmishes, not just playing in open or CQB or milsims. The biggest thing I see or I can hear is whether you're running in the open or in buildings or in the bush, if you're wearing heavy, bulky boots, you can literally hear a guy stomping. If he's not breaking trees, you can hear them stomping the ground on a trail. And the second best thing is, a lot of boots are different. I still see guys wearing outdated like Vietnam era boots that have the black leather and the green canvas. I don't know what that material is, but you know what I mean. The old surplus boots. The jungle boots aren't too bad, but they are dated. In modern times, I started wearing, I've never worn surplus issue boots. A lot of my footwear is actually Solomon Quest, because for one, they're lightweight and the tread. And so when you're running through the bush, if you have a lightweight, well-made footwear, you won't be stomping as loud as guys wearing big boots, and especially don't wear steel toe boots, especially out in the bush. I have worked industry jobs and steel toes have their place. They're kind of too bulky and they make a lot of noise when you're stomping through the bush. So if you're gonna wear footwear, I would say even a lot of modern sneakers have decent tread, but don't get them in bright colors. And do not get shoes that have a reflective trim, because again, so when I'm playing a night game, my IR lights will highlight reflective material, even in the dark, even in pitch black. If you got a piece of high-vis strip or IR patches, or there's IR on your, not IR, but there is even high-vis sewn into your laces. It's on the trim of your shoes. And most people don't realize I have taken out guys just by shining their feet. And a lot of the trim around their laces or here has that 3M material that you see on a high-vis vest. So if you're gonna play a night game, Certain types of footwear could get you eliminated because we're using IR illuminators with nods, and even one little strip is enough to create enough glow to determine that there's an enemy target 20 feet in front of me.
Thank you so much.